with Hardworking Mom. Today I want to show you a new method, and this is called the Ruffle method, and it does use the burlap deco mesh. And I'm using a work wreath that has the burlap colored ties on it. And then we have some different ribbons. You know, you could do bees, which is really cute, ladybugs, but I think today we're going to do patriotic. So I have several different ribbons with the burlap and the patriotic theme, and I have a cute little sign we're going to use. So to get started, we'll put some of this aside, and we won't need this until we make our cuts. So I like to use these self-healing mats. These are really great because if you're going to be doing a wreath and you have to measure it, you can measure it right on this mat. You can also cut on this mat and it will not leave a mark. They're self-healing. You can get these a couple places. I actually got mine at Walmart. You can get them at Trendy Tree. And I also have a rotary cutter. These rotary cutters are great. They're just really fast to make cuts with. And they do a nice clean cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these out together just to save a little time. And when I start, I always like to start with a clean edge. So I will just take off that. It just makes it a little bit easier when you're measuring. You can use anything that has weight to keep them from rolling back. And we are going to cut these every 10 inches. So I'll just cut at 10. Then at 20. And then again at 30. So that's why this mat's so great, because you can just make 3 cuts all at one time. Just like that. So I will keep making these cuts every 10 inches, and then I will come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I've gotten all of these cut out. Now we're going to need our wreath form, and the first thing I'm going to do is go around in the back. Make sure there's nothing sharp that would damage a door. And if you find something, just twist it around. Sometimes they get twisted the wrong way. Okay. So I'm going to start on the outer layer, and then I'll go back and do the inner layer. I'm just going to open these up a little bit so that I don't have to stop and do it while I'm working on the wreath. Just saves a little time. So okay, so getting all this opened up, what you're going to do is you're going to take your burlap, and you see how it wants to curl like this? You want to place it down the way that it wants to curl. And then you're just going to put your fingers in the middle and just gather it up just like a ruffle or a bow tie. See, it kind of looks like a bow tie. Just like that. Then you're just going to place it right in your tie and tie it down one time. You only want to tie it once because you're going to go in here multiple times. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Just gather it up in the middle like that. And just come back and place it right on top of the last one. Just like that. And I'll tie it back one time. Like that. Then I'll go to the next one. And I did cut all of both of my 10-inch rolls because I'm going to use all of this. So gather. And you could just hold it in your hand and start on your second one. Whichever way is easier for you. You can use a clothespin to hold them if you don't want to hold it in your hand, or you can put them in one at a time. But this can save a little time if you just kind of put them on top of each other and just go ahead and put them in. Your reed form just like that. Okay. Then you can just kind of fluff it out a little bit. Like that. This deco mesh does like to stick together, so sometimes you just kind of have to move it around a little bit. Like that. So I'm going to keep going on the bottom row, putting 2 in each one. And as soon as I get done with that, I'll come back and show you what to do on the top row. Okay, so I have gotten all the ruffles all the way around the bottom. See, I have 2. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you want the ruffles to go back and forth like this, not up and down like this. It just makes it a lot fuller and really a lot easier to deal with. So I just kind of tuck my ends in like that. So now we will start on the top. On the top, I'm going to do 3 ruffles just to make it a little bit fuller, and it just kind of helps, you know, to cover all of this wire that's in here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lay it out the way that it rolls and just pinch it in the middle and let your fingers do the walking, just like that. Then I'll start putting them down. Now you can hold them in your hand and put them down together, but I like to kind of do it one at a time because it does kind of, I don't know why, but to me it seems like it looks a little better. So just like that. I know this one can seem like it's time consuming, but it's really not that bad. It doesn't take as long as the curly, which, you know, you have to make lots of bundles for. So see, this has 2 on it, so we'll do 1 more. Okay. And I'll just do this all the way around the top. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll come back and we'll start decorating. See there? I have to twist this one around. Do you see how nice and full that is right there with the 3 on it? So I think that's pretty. You can add 3 on the bottom as well if you would like. You know, a lot of it depends on how thick your burlap or deco mesh is. Some of it is thicker than others. But once you get your ribbon on here, it will also add in some fullness. But I will continue working on this and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. So I have gotten all the ruffles put on. And as you can see, it's really full. You can't really see the wreath form. And I did end up having quite a few cuts left. So I actually went back and put one more ruffle on the bottom. So the bottom has 3 and the top has 3, and I just kind of went around and made sure that each one had tucked in edges. Because you want to do that just so you don't have anything rough showing, because you know with deco mesh it will unravel. So if you have it tucked in, it just looks a lot neater. And once you get it all together, you can go back and spray it with some acrylic spray, and that will just help, you know, prevent it from unraveling too much. So now that I've got the basic wreath done, I'm going to start cutting some ribbon. And the way I like to do this is I have made myself a little tool. I like to cut my ribbon at 12 inches. That's one of the reasons why I make all my cuts at 10 inches, because I want my ribbon to stand out. So what I did is I took and cut a piece of cardboard 6 inches and then just put some duct tape on it to protect it. I made a little notch in one side so I always know where the top is. And then what I'll do is I will just take my ribbon and just use my little tool. I'll just wrap it around like this. Come back to the top, and of course I know where the top is. Cut it, and then just slide my scissors right inside there. Cut my ribbon off, and then just like that, I have 6 ribbons cut already. Then you can fold it over, make your little detail cut. If you have trouble cutting through this many, you can do 3 at a time. And just do the other side. It just makes it a lot faster to cut your ribbon. Just like that. It's also very inexpensive because, you know, the next time you get a shipment in for something, just cut a piece of the cardboard off and keep it. So now I'm just going to go through and cut out some ribbons that I want to use. I'm going to do the 4th of July because I have my cute little sign. I think it's going to be really cute in the middle. So I will go through and cut these ribbons. Then I'll start putting them on. I really like to use several different kinds of ribbons at the same time. It just really gives it an even fuller volume. Hi, Bella. Just a visitation by my puppy, Bella. Hey, girl. Okay. So see here, I've got some more done. Some ribbons cut. So I'm just going to go through and add my ribbons on. So when you add your ribbon on, you just want to pinch it in the middle and then go right back into the same tie. Just open it back up, put it in, and this time when you close it, you want to do 2 or 3 twists. Like that. And we'll just keep doing the same thing. Now when you put your ribbons in, you can bunch them together like this and just have them stand up. Or you can spread them apart like that. Just kind of personal preference as to how you want it to look. I just like to snip any loose ends I see as I go. At the end, when I am finished with this, I will go back and I will spray, especially the underneath and the top, with some acrylic, because this burlap does tend to ravel a little bit more than some of the others. And since, you know, you're making these ruffles and it has a lot of cuts, it will have a tendency to ravel. So it's just a really good way to kind of keep it from getting out of control. And I am going to pull my ribbons out like this, just so it makes a little bit more detail. Adds a little bit of color into this burlap. I like that contrast. And so I'll just keep doing this until I get all my ribbon put in. Then I'll come back and add my sign and a few other little picks or whatever else I decide I think needs to go in there. Okay, so I've gotten all the ribbon put in. See how pretty and full this is? So I'm not going to add a bunch of picks on this just because it's such a pretty wreath all by itself. I will add a few on. I got this cute little pick that looks like a ornament. I will tie that one in. That's so cute. And I have a few little, I like to have things that kind of stand up a little bit. Just kind of gives it some more interest. After I get all these tied in and make sure that I am happy with where they are, then I'll go back and put some hot glue on it just to make sure it stays there. And I'll just keep tying these in. I have just a couple more. Let's see, I'll put one down here. And let's see, maybe one more up here. Okay. Okay. So now I just want to figure out where I want to put my little sign. I think I want like right there. So I'll just make sure I have the right spot, and I'm just going to use these ties to kind of make sure I have the right spot. There we go. That looks cute. And I'll show you one thing you can do with all of these ties that you have. You can leave them standing up like that, or you can take a pencil and just kind of curl your pencil around it, or curl it around your pencil, pull it out, and it makes this cute little shape at the bottom and kind of hides it, just like that. So that looks cute. It's just another way you can take care of your ties without having to pull them in the back. There we go. Okay, and there you have it. We made a ruffle wreath in the patriotic theme, and I'll just continue on curling these and trim up some of my frays, and I'll do a good spraying, glue everything down, and then we'll be ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment and like it and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.